Another year, another Star Wars game. EA has been killing the Star Wars brand in gaming for a long time now. And here we are, their next attempt at it. Respawn's up next, thank God, because I could not handle another Star Wars Battlefront this year. So I'll be reviewing Star Wars Fallen Order on the Xbox One S. Yes, I said S. Sue me. Did this game break EA's bad record here lately with Star Wars games? Let's start this review and find out. The story of this game is one of the highlights of the game. This game takes place 5 years after the end of the Clone Wars. That was for you Star Wars junkies that's probably going to ask me that in the comment section, so I figured I'd get that out of the way. You are a Jedi Padawan, Cal. I refuse to embarrass myself anymore by trying to pronounce his last name. The game is about you surviving a world that the Empire is on the hunt for any remaining Jedi. The game has a pretty basic story with really no twists. However, it is well written and extremely immersive and has some great pacing, so it makes up for the simple narrative. Now let's talk about the performance a little bit. This game runs really bad on the Xbox One S, and yes, I said the S. So now, all the people in the comment section that say, Addict, why are you on the S? The X is so much better. Yes, I'm sure I would see drastic improvement on the world's most powerful system. But at the end of the day, we need consistency in these systems. They are still selling this game on the S, so I expect it to run consistently. I hate this stigma that's going around the community that just because people are on the S or the basic PlayStation 4, the game should run worse. Okay, the game should run better on the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro, but it shouldn't be almost near unplayable on the base systems. This is an issue that I've noticed every review I talk about. The issues that I personally encountered on this game was consistent frame rate drop, noticeable frame rate drop. Sometimes I would glitch into the ground. Not often, but it does happen. Now I do want to point out that they did do a patch post-launch for this game. I'm unaware what it actually fixed on the count I already beat the game by the time it came out. So take it how you want it, take that how you might. Or, I would suggest that you just make sure you have an X or a Pro or a PC, because apparently that's the only thing you can play these games on now. Moral of the story, buy an Xbox One X. The gameplay on this game is definitely where this game shines. From the amazing 1v1s to fighting multiple enemies at once. And did I mention you have a lightsaber? Because I feel like that's important. The best way to describe this game is taking stuff from all of your favorite games and bringing them all together. Respawn has taken aspects from Uncharted when it comes to set pieces and a lot of the movement that has to do with climbing. As far as the combat goes, they inspired this game from none other than From Software's The Dark Souls game. The classics say, everything's like Dark Souls. That's because it's a good formula. This was a wonderful choice on their part because it was the missing piece to making a really good Star Wars game. The slower gameplay makes fighting other Sith way more immersive. The boss fights on this game were the highlights to me. Respawn gave me something I was unaware I wanted. I did not know I wanted a Souls-inspired game with a lightsaber. I know some of you are going to ask me in the comment section if this game is anything like the Star Wars Unleashed games. And the answer to that is, no, it really isn't. I love those games, but this type of Star Wars game is actually more for me personally. I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for myself. Fighting the enemy Sith one by one, getting around their force abilities, while trying to use my own was mind-blowing, especially on the higher difficulties. This game has a map system that is a double-edged sword to me. At first, it looks confusing and annoying, but if you really look at the map and figure out how to use it and how it works, in my opinion, it makes this game shine. But I will admit, sometimes the map of this game is extremely huge and it can be overwhelming, especially since there's no type of travel system in the game. One thing that I really appreciated in this game is how they took upon backtracking. Most games, I cannot stand backtracking, but in Fallen Order, they actually made all the backtracking in this game something different. What I mean by something different is they make you take different ways returning from the mission you just spent 3 hours on. Where there's no checkpoints in this game, you have to manually walk back to your ship every time you do a mission. At first, this was extremely annoying me. But then I noticed how Respawn was doing this and what the pattern was, and I realized how they're doing this backtracking. The path they make you take was not the same way you took to get to your destination. For instance, sometimes you'd go around a mountain to get to an objective, and then when you come back, you come through the mountain to get back to your ship. And if you did end up having to take the same way that you went there with, there was new obstacles there, new enemies there. There was new stuff that you can use your new force abilities with to reach that you couldn't reach the first time you went around. Sometimes there's actually new story elements on your way back that they use to make the game way more immersive than it would have been without it. Another form of backtracking that they do in this game is feel real Metroid-like to me. It's where you can't get to a certain part of the map till you have a certain ability. And sometimes you have to come back after a few planets later to get to that part of the map you're unable to reach at the start of the game. The puzzles in this game were fun, and although there were not that many, it was nice to use the force abilities to solve them. The environments was a huge plus to me as well. The game, there's nothing better than learning force push, leveling that sucker up, and just pushing people off cliffs left and right like there's no tomorrow. And I did that a lot. Is Star Wars Fallen Order without issues? Absolutely not. Let us name them, shall we? The movement in this game could be a little weird at some times, and I'm not saying it was 100% issue all the time, but nothing is more frustrating than dying because the dude, as in the player, decided it was not worth grabbing on the side of the wall for some reason. So guess what happens? Instead of scaling that wall, you fall, and that's very frustrating to me. For some reason, Respawn thought it would be a good idea to make the heavy moves in this game use up some force. So there was many times that I would go to use force push or force pull and then try to follow up that with a heavy attack, and Cal is just standing there, acting like he can't lift up his saber and hit from a downward direction, which makes no sense to me. Obviously, they did this for balance issues, but it was still annoying. Most of the character models of this game were not bad looking, but not great either. This is something they need to work on if they ever make another game like this. They just got to make sure the character models are on point and look passable from whatever the standpoint of games is at that time. Respawn has made one of the most arguably best games in a long time published by EA. If EA starts to straighten up, we really have Respawn to thank for this. They have shown them that you can still make money off these types of games. Star Wars Fallen Order might be the best Star Wars game ever made. This game is worth your money easily. If you have EA access, you can actually get a discount as well. This game has proven that Respawn is a top tier developer that we should all be looking out for in all of their games from here going out. But anyway, you guys, tell me what you guys thought about this. Are you coming here after you've already beat the game? If you have, put in the comment section below if you liked it. And I try to keep the spoilers down there to a minimum. Like this video if you don't mind. I love all the support you guys have been giving me. Share this to all your friends, as many as possible. I like my content get to as many people as possible. And we'll be doing another review. I'll be reviewing Pokemon here soon, unfortunately. Until next time, this is Addict Reviews, and I'm out.
Who are you?
Someone making the Empire angry. We're advancing on an imp landing pad up ahead. With my fire support.
Copy that. Let's make them even angrier.